In this video, I'm going to show how to make a terrain quickly and efficiently. First, we make a plane. For this, we select the plane from Object Type options and draw a plane of desired size. You can also change the dimensions in parameters. Increase the length as much as you like, or the width. And do remember to add some segments. Adding segments is important if you want to make a terrain with some movement. These are my segments. You can do as much or as less as you like. Now since these segments are not showing up, we go to default shading and add edge faces. Now they would be visible. Once this is done, go to modify and in the modifier list, search for noise. Once you have applied noise, under the parameters, there is this box of strength. And since we need to raise our x-axis to create some movement, we are going to modify the x-plane. Therefore, I am going to increase the value of x-axis. And with this, adjust the scale as well. As you can see, there are movements. The more the scale is, the less the movement will be. And the less the scale is, the more movement it will create. Play with these two options to create a movement of your desire. Once this is done, I'm going to go back to default shading and remove edge faces. Now I'm going to show how we can spread elements like pebbles or trees quickly. For this example, I'm going to use a sphere. For that, I'm going to go back to the object type and select a sphere and draw a small one to give the illusion of a pebble. Obviously, a pebble would look much more realistic, but this will work. You get the idea. Once this is done, or you have your tree or your pebble or sand for that matter that you want to spread, we go to this top taskbar and select Object Paint. Under Object Paint, we select Paint Objects, and in Paint Objects, we go to this little arrow beside Paint On and click on it and select Scene. Since we want the pebble on the terrain, which in this case is our scene, we selected this option. Now click on this paint button and you can easily draw your desired shape on the scene. Just drag your mouse across the plane or the scene that you want to paint on and it gets done. Now obviously it looks clustered, and for that I have a solution too. In order to make them look more natural, we need spacing. For that, we go back to the toolbar and under the brush settings, we find spacing and just increase the spacing. You can obviously look at the results being changed. Increase the spacing to reach your desired result. Now, if you're happy with the spacing but just want to scatter this a little more, or go to U under brush settings and just increase this value. When you increase this value, it scatters the object, but you don't want to go overboard with it because evidently it creates drastic changes. So I'm going to go back, and you can do the same with trees or even sand, bushes, whatever, and build a terrain quickly rather than placing each object and thinking about it. And since this is a very random placement by the software itself, it looks rather more natural. And in order to make this look a less bombarded, I'm going to increase the size of plane so that you can have a look at what it might look like. I selected the plane and under parameters, I'm going to change the size of the plane, increase it so that you get the idea, and increase the width. Now you can imagine if these were trees rather than small balls, they would look scattered and more like a terrain.